So day 10.
Okay, we stayed in our cozy B&B, even though the bed wasn't all that great. We had plenty of pillows. And the next morning for breakfast, the nice lady cooked us bacon and eggs.
Yes, she did. I'm not a big egg person, but I ate my whole portion.
Yes.
Yep, and the bacon was good.
And then, because we had gone so far off the Via Francigena to get to her place, she took us in her car.
A Mercedes. And I left my sunscreen there.
Yeah, in her car.
Not good.
But she took us back. She gave us hugs and kisses, wished us buen camino.
Yep.
And we were able, because we were right on the Via Francigena, we were able to get out of town easily. And
she took us back to where we had actually turned to go back to her hotel. So it wasn't like we cheated at all.
Right. We ended up back where we had started from, where we left the path to get to her place. Right. So we walked through some woodsy areas with lots of bugs.
Yeah,
gnats.
We realized that day was a day of either you're getting beat with the sun or you're welcoming the shade, but with the shade comes the bugs.
Yes.
And I'll take the bugs.
Yeah.
The sun was killing me. But yeah, so we had a lot of gnats.
We had a lot of gnats.
So that's the day the woman was walking her cat and her dog.
And we were confused, of course, because
the book said something, the sign said something. Well, the sign said two different things. The book said something different. So she's like, nope, go that way. And we're like, okay.
So, yeah, we were grateful because she sent us the right way. Then we spent all that time in the hazelnut plantation.
Yeah, we went from, this trip we went from grapes to olives to hazelnuts.
Yes.
Yes, so we were in hazelnut plantations all day.
Right. So we
in and out of them all day.
Yes. So we walked through the hazelnut plantation, which didn't have a lot of traffic or anything, but they were very dusty.
Yes, because they were harvesting the hazelnuts.
Yes, very dusty. And so we were on our way to Capranica.
Which was technically the end of the day, but we wanted to kind of jump ahead because the next day was going to be way too long. So we were going to jump ahead and try to gain some ground by going further than the book, of which we did.
Right. So we got into town fairly easy, but of course everything was closed except for pizza. So we decided we did not want pizza. So we had some drinks in a bar with a toilet.
Yeah.
And took our shoes off for a little while.
There you go.
And then
key note right there that anytime if you're gonna do anything like this, when you stop, take your shoes and socks off.
Yes, it makes a huge difference.
At least every few hours, take your shoes and socks off.
Makes a huge difference.
It does.
When you get to move back on. So, of course, we got into town okay, but moving through town and getting back out of town on the trail, I mean, like the signs in the towns just aren't all that great.
Most of them are true.
Most of them.
They just disappear. They're just like, you come in, it's like there'll be 15 different markers for when you're going straight down the street. And then when you come to an intersection, nothing.
Right. Any place you might have a question, there's not a sign. When there's no place else to go, there's 5 signs.
Right, exactly. And the book was not helpful.
Right. So we went down all these stairs in this church, and I was trying to figure out which direction to go, and I'm reading the book, and I'm looking for a sign out there somewhere, and of course I stepped on an uneven cobblestone, rolled my ankle, and
ranger down.
Fell down, skinned my knee, skinned my shoulder.
Popped your ear.
Yeah. The pack has a strange thing. When you go down, the pack will take you all over the place.
Yeah.
It's a strange experience, but yeah, so got up, my knee bleeding, but I found the sign.
But that's right, we found our path.
We did.
And I figured, and I told her, I said, as long as it was bleeding, that was a good thing. So just keep walking and bleeding.
So that's what we did. We had bought some fruit on our way out of town. So we're eating grapes.
Yes, we did.
Eating grapes, and I was bleeding.
Yeah, so I kept handing them to her, and it's like in her bloody hand.
Yep.
It was nasty.
So that's when we entered that very dense forest area, that protected area.
That's right.
4,100 meters.
Which is a long way if you don't know how far 4,100 meters is. 4,100 meters when you're looking for signs in a dense forest was a little nerve-wracking.
It was.
Yeah, because you got this little bitty sign in this dense forest, and I mean, there really wasn't a lot of different ways you could go, but you want the reassurance of the sign.
Right.
So
we crossed the creek on 3 very different creative bridges.
Yes.
3 times.
3 times.
And we made it through, and right at the end of the forest, there was the sign into Sutri, which of course is uphill.
Of course it is, because it's a walled city,
walled
and all
city.
walled cities are uphill. It's very steep uphill.
So as soon as we get into Sutri, well, actually right there at the bottom, there's a B&B right
That's
there.
right. We're like, oh, this is, and a
excited.
restaurant. There was a restaurant and a B&B. Like, oh, the gods have shown mercy upon us.
Yeah, so I ring the little bell, and it is a bell.
Yeah, ding, ding, ding,
It's
ding,
a ding, ding, ding.
And I said, they're never going to hear that. This is on a busy street. And so the guy opens it like lurch on the door, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I guess he did hear it.
But they were full.
They were full.
And so he sent us up the hill. That's when we had
We got to go up to town.
the hill.
Yep.
And we would go to the information office, and there's a B&B right next door. But guess what? They're full too.
She lied.
Yeah.
She lied.
You don't think?
I don't think it was. I don't think she had a person in there. I think she just didn't want to mess with anybody.
Yeah.
But
well, people. I think the fact that we don't speak Italian.
yeah.
Some people.
Well, the woman at the information office was like, she sent us to a hotel, and she said and I said, well, what happens if we get to the hotel and there's not something? And she said, well, you come back and we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
So
we went up around the corner, found the hotel.
Yep.
He had a room.
Yes, he did.
Of course, we were the only ones there.
Yes, we were. I like the whole hotel. We were the only ones there. So again, I don't think that there's any chance that this woman's B&B was full, but nonetheless. Right. So he wanted us. We stayed there.
Yeah.
He was very adamant about how to lock the door.
It had to click 2 times.
2 times.
Do it.
Yeah. And
Do
so
it.
he handed it to me like, you get, this is like life or death. Do you understand? I'm like, dude, I get. Click, click.
Do it.
I got it. Yeah.
So we got to shower. Yeah. We went and had dinner across the street, which was probably the most disappointing dinner we've had.
It was. I don't think the noodles were done.
Well, the noodles weren't done, and my sauce was broken. My Alfredo sauce was broken.
I don't know what that means.
That's when the cream and the oil separate. They cooked it too fast and too long, and it separated. And that food, mine was so salty that I could not eat.
It was salty.
It was very salty.
I liked mine better than you did, though.
So that was our most disappointing dinner. But then we went back into our hard bed with our hard pillows.
Oh my God, yes.
That's been the thunderstorm that night.
Oh, it did. Yeah, it was. I don't know what time it was. I don't remember.
Yeah.
But I heard it, and I got up, and I'm like, oh my God, please don't let it be close to 7:30. Because I had my alarm set for 7:30. I'm like, please don't let it be close to 7:30. I do not want to go out and walk in a thunderstorm. But it wasn't. It was, I don't know, 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. So I get on my phone and I'm like, what's the weather? And it was going to be through by the time we were leaving. Yeah. So I was happy about that.
So that was day 10.